What are we doing? Stupid hand gestures. He does them at all. What?
No, it's not hand gestures. It's what we're doing.
Oh, you're climbing. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right.
Climbing. So, climbing.
Climbing. Bouldering.
Just sounds like a Pokemon move. Pikachu, use bouldering.
Bouldering. Super effective.
So, always with that, I don't even care. So, today, we're starting a new series.
So we're going to be watching.
No, not watching.
Netflix.
We're doing a series. Every now and again, we'll do a video which
Yeah.
fits into, like, we'll have a playlist and things.
Oh,
right?
okay, right.
And this one is going to be called Biblical Badasses.
Oh, biblical badasses. Why is it called biblical badasses?
You know, the Bible is filled with some absolutely badass characters. People who did amazing stuff,
Yeah.
incredibly brave,
Yeah.
incredibly courageous,
Yeah.
incredibly just cool. Just in case you weren't aware of some of these absolute heroes, let us introduce you to some of the Bruce Willises of the Bible.
Ooh.
So, I guess this is the first episode then of,
We're going straight in, yeah?
I guess, yeah, first
Alright.
episode of
Biblical
Badasses. And if that word offends you, apologies, but it does roll off the tongue quite nicely.
Who's our first biblical badass then, Rob?
Caiaphas, the high priest.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, he's a good enough. First biblical badass.
You love this table.
It's good.
Yeah.
We're going to look at Jonathan.
Oh, and who's Jonathan?
Who's Jonathan?
Who is Jonathan?
I hear you ask.
I hear you scream.
Well, Jonathan is David's best mate.
King David.
King David,
King David.
of kingly / Goliath slaying fame.
With the
With the whoop-ow, one of them. But Jonathan,
Yeah.
right, was his like absolute busy mate, who was actually Saul's son. So King Saul. So before David was king,
Yeah.
there was a whole drama between Saul
Yeah.
and David. He tried to kill him a few times.
Yeah, there was-
But in the middle of all that awkwardness between David being this well-cool guy and Saul being jealous of him, Saul's son was also busy mates with David.
Yeah.
And like full-on best friends, like a bromance.
Yeah, they were the original dynamic duo.
Yeah, and Jonathan,
Yeah.
as it turns out, is an absolute hero in his own right. There's a story of Jonathan,
Yeah.
and it's particularly badass
Why is it particularly badass? Rob?
because it involves climbing
Ooh.
and fighting.
Climbing and what? Like good. Well, click on.
While for climbing.
Okay.
So 1 Samuel 14.
Yeah.
One day, Jonathan, son of Saul, said to his young armor bearer, so the guy who carries his armor is like his golf caddy, but for war.
Okay, yeah.
He says to his young armor bearer, "Come, let's go over to the Philistine outpost on the other side."
Philistines, bad guys.
Yes.
Israelites, good guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did David and Goliath?
Goliath was a Philistine,
Goliath
wasn't
was
he?
a Philistine. There you go.
Yeah.
So Philistines, they're the baddies, okay?
Yeah.
Bit of context. At this point, the Philistines are like oppressing Israel, and they've taken all the weapons off them. No weapons for the Israelites, but Jonathan and his armor bearer have got some. They've managed to get hold of some somehow.
Sneaky.
And so they decide, right, let's have a go at these guys who are oppressing us. And he says, "Come, let's go over to the outpost of those uncircumcised men." Getting a bit personal straight off
That's
the
a
bat.
bit harsh.
They're not Jewish. They're not
So
Israelites.
they wouldn't be
Well,
circumcised.
you know, anyway, perhaps the Lord will act in our behalf. Nothing can hinder the Lord from saving, whether by many or by few. Whether by many or by few. He's like, who says we need an army? You know, if God's involved, then maybe we can just rock it ourselves.
What's climbing got to do with this?
So, as it turns out, they go over to this Philistine outpost, but it's on top of a cliff.
Obviously.
Because any regular outpost, well, that would just be too easy. Let's go for the one at the top of the cliff. Now, obviously, when I thought about this, I was remembering the story and I was like, cool, because they climb the cliff.
Yeah.
Because no one expects you to attack from a cliff.
No, obviously.
And then they got an upper hand and it's like a sneak attack from the cliff.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's not what they did. It's not even a sneak attack. We'll cross over toward them and let them see us. If they say to us, wait there until we come to you, we'll stay where we are, we're not going to go up. But if they say, come up to us, well, we'll climb up. Because that'll be our sign that the Lord has given them into our hands.
Oh my days. Oh my days.
They just sit at the bottom of the cliff and aggro these guys. And they're like, wait, fancy a fight?
Who are you?
Come up to us and we'll teach you a lesson. So Jonathan said to his armor bearer, climb up after me. The Lord has given them into the hand of Israel. Jonathan climbed up using his hands and feet with his armor bearer right behind him. So secondary badass is the armor bearer who's probably carrying extra stuff.
Fair play to him. It's a bit like you then, isn't it?
What?
Carrying extra stuff. Rob's fat. So they'd have been carrying a lot, and they wouldn't have had
armor and weapons.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have had like climbing shoes and
No,
all
they
that.
don't have any
This would
ropes
have
or
been
anything.
like, no ropes.
They're just scaling a cliff ready for war. Well, to give us an idea of how difficult climbing is, that's what we're going to do today. Let's go find a climbing wall.
Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Gotta do stretches. Right, go! I'm really sweaty. We've only been here about 10 minutes and I'm like shattered already.
Hi, Shattered already. I'm Rob.
Classic.
Yes, Rob. Go on. Oh.
Go for the green one. Go on.
So close.
So close. So close.
No.
Literally there, weren't you? You gonna try it again?
Give me a minute. Jordan beating me on everything jobs are good on lately.
Yeah, it's have a race then, Jordan. Okay.
Three, two, one, go.
When it comes to that real life, I always beat Jordan as soon as we film for Jobs Are Good.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Jobs Are Good. My name is Rob. It's great to see you, everybody. Thumbs up, Jobs Are Good.
In case you needed a little bit of context, Rob's arms, because he's a bit more
Fat.
rotund is what I was going to say. Rob's arms are a little bit more shattered.
Jobs Are Good.
Jobs are good.
Oh, they're so dead. Failed. Just like the Philistines at the top of that big cliff. Just.
Come on! Jobs are good.
So, as it turns out, climbing is exhausting.
It is very exhausting.
Kills your arms, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very jelly arms.
Kills your
afterwards.
hands.
This is a climbing wall.
So they're
It's designed to be climbed.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not an actual cliff.
We had climbing shoes on,
Yeah.
we had padding below us, and we could only go 3 meters up.
We didn't even try carrying anything.
No.
We literally just... Shut up, I'm not that fat. We didn't even carry any extra equipment. I'm not going to say extra weight, that's just asking for it.
We didn't carry no extra weight, we didn't carry no extra stuff.
But Jonathan...
And his armour bearer. Fair play.
And then they proceeded to have a big old fight. Jonathan and his armour bearer killed some 20 men. In an area of about half an acre. That's also something I'm picking up just now.
So they were running around. So not only did they climb a cliff,
yeah,
they
had a massive fight, killed 20, that's 10 each, and they were running around an area of half an acre because why not? Just throw some cardio in there.
Fair play. But the God was on their side.
That's true.
Quite clearly, if God is in it, he's in it. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't matter if there's loads or if there's just 2 of you.
No.
And you've climbed a cliff and you're running around half an acre.
Yeah. To have the strength and the energy to do that.
That's pretty epic.
Fair play.
So the conclusion is that God is not with me and Jordan when we go climbing.
No, not at all.
Because it was very tiring. But I think the thing that is slightly indisputable here, I think the thing that is slightly indisputable here is that Jonathan and his armor bearer definitely deserve to be in the list of biblical badasses.
Yeah, even knowing God is with them in that, it still takes an absolute step of faith to go ahead with it. And that's why he's a badass. Biblical badass. Biblical. Ooh, yeah.
But there we are, Jonathan, be inspired by the absolute badassery of the biblical hero that is Jonathan.
Yeah.
And go climbing, it's fun. Jobs are good?
Jobs are good,
Jobs are good. Lickety like? That sounds weird.
Lickety like?
Oh, sounds a bit weird. Just a regular like will do. Just a normal like, please. Subscribe.
Subscribe. Would be very appreciated. Yes, please. Yeah. We should get little signs. So we should print out the signs so we can like...
What do you think I'm doing in the editing?
I know, but it would be fun.
Oh, I get it. I'm not good enough, apparently.